The man.
How's it going? Yeah, I don't like this shit. This is going. As soon as I finish that she shed, this is going off.
Yeah, I'm shaving it
I can't
too.
stand it. It's driving me crazy.
We're both looking a little scruffy around the ears here,
I
big
know.
guy.
It's really bad. And haircuts, you can't get a haircut. Thank God. I got a haircut like a week before they threw us in detention.
Detention. That's a classic.
So yeah, it's nice to be out. So I went to the hardware store this morning, and it was like spring fling. All the guys were there, like they're hanging out, talking, and having fun, and like it was back to I've had enough. I'm going out. I don't give a shit. I'm going out. I'll get the cold. I don't care. It was very cool, actually.
Yeah. Well, don't get me started. I think, like Dr. D and we talked, I think this thing is too much overblown. You cannot shut down a state with 1.4 million people for 35 deaths. That's insanity. And that's what they did in Maine. This thing is just, it's political.
It's totally political. It's like, who wants to hurt the president? Okay, so we'll close.
You got it. And who wants to keep him hurt? We'll keep it closed, even if people get suffered and all the rest.
I don't give a shit. Nobody cares about the people.
Yeah.
It's all about politics.
Yep. So I was on the phone with a couple of strategics. I'm going to send you the bio on one of the gentlemen. We're close to making a deal. He can supposedly bring us NBA stars, capital. I mean, if he could do half of what he claims, he's going to be awesome.
Okay, so don't give him anything until they show up at the door.
No, I'm not.
I've had that so many times. Oh, I got 25 NBA and NFL players. Yeah, okay, bring one.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
We agree, Greg. So did you get a chance to review my, I don't know, proposed, more like a deal memo brainstorm?
Yeah, I liked it. Let me pull it up. Hold on a second.
Okay, perfect. You're smarter than me technologically. I don't know how to pull it up while keeping you on my screen, so I'll do it by the phone.
That's breeze. It's easy.
Yeah.
This ex-girlfriend keeps on bugging me. Stop it! I don't care about you. Right. So
check him out.
She's every single day. Oh my God.
Hey, if you're looking for a girl, this girl who might do a deal with this named Paula Dezzutti. Seems like a nice girl. Let me
really? Okay, hold on a second. This guy's I've been trying to get this guy for 2 weeks. Hold on a second.
Go.
Hey man, how you doing? I'm doing well, thank you. Really, really well. That's fine. Okay, it's cool. Okay, so here's the story. I've got a guy who wants the full $5 million, but I don't want to give it to him. I want to get as much out of his hands as possible because it's like the Amazon boys, or who was it? No, it wasn't the Amazon guys. It was someone else. One of them, they didn't want to, like, everybody showed up at the door. Andreessen wanted the whole thing, and someone else wanted the whole thing, and they said, well, I don't really, I don't want to have all, this control in one person. So they spread it out, and after about a month or so of kibitzing back and forth, they split it up between two big guys. And I'd much rather have this guy have half of the 5 mil, and you guys take at least half. If you take all of it, I wouldn't complain, believe me, because your guys are also strategic. The NFL and NBA and all those guys. So, in fact, I have a guy online right now who we're talking about the same kind of stuff, and so that's really critical. If you guys can score that, Corey, you got it, man. You'd be my hero for life. I got you. Yeah, George is really cool. He's been sending me back emails, talking, and he's solid. I like him a lot. I totally agree, man. Totally. So, well, I'm glad you called, Corey. And listen, as soon as you get a minute free, get back to me or start working on your NFL and NBA guys, and let's get them in. I'd love to give you that 10%. It'll be much better. Sooner you can do it, the better we're going to be. Also, what's your feeling about I mean, do you what do you think of Dania? Do you love her? Really, everybody loves her. She's unbelievable. She's like the most honest, so straight and just a wholesome kind of person. It's just great to talk to her. It's like taking your vitamins. It's great. All right, man. Well, hurry up and get finished with that other crap, and let's get going with my good stuff. All right, brother. Thanks for the call. All right. Bye.
There you go, buddy. Some money for you, hopefully. A lot of
Yeah,
money.
these guys. I contact people on LinkedIn, every couple of days, and this guy just had everything lined up exactly right. He knows some people I know. He NBA and NFL players he works with, and he also was the new business development guy for the Red Sox and the Twins, I think.
Hmm.
So he's got his money in big hands.
Okay.
And so
Good.
I'm psyched to hear when he gets back done with what he's got to do right now.
Awesome.
So
All right, man. Well, so tell me how you want to, what's the best way forward for us? Because what I'm thinking here is I've got a fund that's on the table. I've got a lot of players, but this one in particular. And if I could get us aligned in a memorialized contract that brings greater value to you and greater value to us, and then this other guy who's got the 200 NBA guys, and then this other lady who's got you get the idea. There's like 4 of you. I come to the table, those 4, I think the odds of coming to the table then on the other side with the 5 million are up in the high 90s. That's my way to the promised land. And of course, they're real contracts. They're not just contracts for the purpose of getting money, but that's the short-term benefit to all of us.
Yeah. Well, as you just heard, I'm getting really close to getting this done.
Right.
And both the guy who said he wants the full 5 actually wants more. He wants 6 now, and he wants another 14 when we do the A round, which is going to be probably 18 months to 24 months.
Okay.
So yeah, we're getting there, and so I mean, it's a nice place to be when the money just is finally like.
It'll be great, man. I can't wait.
I can't tell you how much time has gone by. Eating Franks and beans. So yeah, so
not very nutritious, my brother. Not very nutritious.
Exactly. So I know where you're going with this. If you want, so I've got 3 boards. I've got the board of the board of directors, and then I have the advisory board, and then I have the sports advisory board. That's all the Olympians.
Okay.
So the advisory board is where I have the business contacts that I need to have there. I need to be able to say, I got this guy and this guy and this guy and this, but this guy's doing this, and be able to say, this is operationally why these people are on my board. And board of directors, those are going to be, when the guy who was Jerry Maguire.
Yep.
The real guy.
Who is that? It's true.
There are 2 of them. And actually, I know David Meltzer.
David Meltzer, yeah. We talked about that, right?
Yeah, he's my buddy.
David Meltzer, your buddy?
Yeah. He's he and I are tight.
That name keeps popping up. You're the 3rd person in the last. I'm trying to get a deal with David for his 1,000 celebs.
Good luck.
Yeah, I know.
he keeps those tight to the vest, man. And
well, he's so elusive. He basically has said, "I want to do a deal, but I've got 8 other clients. I'll tell you exactly what he said. We've been bouncing back and forth for 2 months. He said, you would want me to spend the same time with you that I'm spending with them when you're a client as well. So I've got to dedicate my time to them. And I wrote back, that's great. I appreciate that. But when are we doing something? I mean, we're doers over here. We're not just talkers. So what do you want to do? Well, COVID's going on.
He's got some big guys. And there are, there's one organization that I belong to that he started. But I think you have to be an ex-pro athlete. So that's cool because I am, and so I can do that. And
Okay.
These guys, it's big. They have some big guys in there, and so I'm trying not to hit that until I really get going. Until I can say, here's the site. This is the people we have on so far. This is how we're doing it, and we want your guys on. Because that's gonna be a lot more. As soon as you get the ball rolling,
Yep.
you get the bus moving. All of a sudden, everyone wants to jump on.
Yep.
So your job, my job, is to get the bus rolling. So we got to figure out how to do that.
So here's the only way I know how. If you got a better way, I'm all ears. I sent you an email. I digested by virtue of, in a perfect world, here's what we would want from you. I need you to respond, if you don't mind, to each and every one of those deal points.
Yeah, I'm looking at them right now.
Well, I don't want to verbally, but I mean, we'll go over verbally. I want it written, if you don't mind, with specificity. And then I would love the same thing from you, Greg. You saying, okay, Jeff, here's what we want. We want $1 million. We want, access with your influencers. We want X number of users on it. All the things that if I'm you, the things that I want are access to our celebrities. Our celebrities are different than yours, right? I mean, If you got 5 or 500, that's awesome. 600 is better.
Olympians, that's, they're barely celebrities these days.
Whatever. The point being, if I can add to your mix, that's better than not. And then
yeah, absolutely.
You want users. If you have 10,000, you want 100,000. 100, you want, and so on. So if we can build a way for you to populate your platform with millions of people, that's the Mac Daddy.
Yeah, for both of us.
Right. For both of us. So I don't know any other way to do it.
I can go through. I'm reading this stuff right now. I can hit this off in half an hour. I could write all these things down.
Okay. And then I just really need to understand exactly what you want. And then once we're both aligned, Greg wants this, Jeff wants this, then we come together, have a call like this, and then we put it on paper, deal memo it. And once you've done that, I'll throw it to either you can throw it to your attorney, I'll do mine, whatever you want.
So the way we work is that we basically pay out a percentage of the ad revenue that comes in.
Okay.
And it's pretty easy to get someone to say, okay, I got 50,000 followers. That means to me about $1 person per year. That's $50,000. Okay, you can have. Here's an Excel list of my people, and then we put a code that refers to them, and in all the stuff that goes out, all the emails that go out, all kind of stuff, and then we just follow these people around when they hit the site and they're going around, and as they're going around, they're ringing up ad revenue, and then we pay out 15% every quarter. So ours is what we do for our people, for the influencers, is pretty straightforward. Yeah. And when you have someone like USA Triathlon or cycling, whoever, they're pretty happy to work with us. And for that, they give us access to their information, to their content, and to one of their athletes to help load the site. So the important part to us is really the direct connection to those athletes and being able to have them on board and have them responsive to the people who are asking the questions.
Got it.
So that's pretty cool.
I think for us, Greg, what I like is that you giving us a leg up on content right away. Because that's what I like. Because it would take us, how long did it take you to build all the content you have?
2 years.
2 years?
Yeah. And that's sporadic, it wasn't every day. And it's going to start coming in hot and heavy. I mean, as soon as we get the first chunk of change, I'm back out to Colorado Springs talking to the ACES people and bringing in the first 20 athletes. And then we'll have 5 more athletes a month for the next year.
So
And
walk me through how you would see it going down with respect to our platform, because I'm a Honey member. I jump on the Honey platform. I'm not into music or entertainment. I'm into sports.
so
So
you're
I
in
go to
sports,
sports.
and you're looking at the experiences that PH has to offer,
Yep.
and you see a button that says, "How about what sports do you play?" Basically, we just ask them a very simple question: What sports do you play? How would you like to get
We'll
better
do
at?
it with actual worlds, like a world of tennis, golf,
Yeah.
and you'll be clicking it. It's just semantics.
Yeah,
You want to do
that's how you want to work it. That's you can set it up any way you want. What we like doing is saying this is the universe, and in that universe are solar systems. And in those solar systems here's a tennis solar system. We call them portals, but frankly, it makes more sense to say here's a universe and then down to solar systems than down.
okay,
So
like that.
yeah. So you're down in individual planets when you get to your club, and then you're a person on the planet. So it's very straightforward, and we got all the content. You just tell us what you want, and I can get you blogs. I can get you, anything really for content.
So at some point, I need to intro you to our tech guys because they'll latch this on, right? The UI UX people will facilitate that. But for now, this is just about putting the deal in writing. So I I don't know almost what to ask. So I almost need at some point, once you and I get the really high level agreement, then I need to throw in my tech guys or my social media king and blah blah. We'll be able to ask more intelligent. I'm dangerous, but I don't know what I don't know. I'm good at what I know, Greg. You get the idea. But so do you have vendors? Do you have corporate sponsors inside the different worlds?
More vendors. We have whenever we start up a sport, we spend some time talking to the endemic advertisers, the ones who make the actual volleyballs or the bikes or whatever,
Okay.
and try to get them to sponsor or not really sponsor because you can't really get realistic sponsorships from real people until you start having lots and lots of members. Other than that, with 100 members, I go to my Nike and they go like, "Who? UB Sports?
Yep.
Kidding?" I just look behind you. You've got that alcohol back there. Holy shit! Are you running a bar?
Me?
Yeah.
No, that's just for guests and parties.
Oh
What?
my God! I like your life.
Look at you,
My life.
man.
I'm down to one bottle of port I don't want to open.
There it is, buddy. We're more winos. Honestly, Susie and I drink like hardly any of that. That's for parties.
That's cool.
We're more winos. We're going through like a bottle every other day now.
Yeah, that's about right. Me too. That's about what it is. So, yeah, there's a site called WTSO.
Okay.
You ever heard of it?
No.
It's Wine Still Sold Out, and it's WTSO.com. And every day they have a
TSO.
wine of the day that's really cheap, and it's like a third of what it would be anyplace else.
Huh. WTSO. Check that out.
Yeah, Wine Still Sold Out.
WTSO.com.
.com.
All right, brother. Yeah, you're our new buddy here. Check it out. We like it. Here's a picture of Susie. Here, she is like no grandma you've ever seen in your life. That's Susie.
Wow, how about that? Yeah, if you got one that looks like that, you can send her my way.
Right?
That'll work.
Yeah, she's a cutie, man. She's a good girl and great heart.
Really, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. So who's that girl you said I should meet?
Her name is Paula Dezzutti. I've never met her, but she is extremely impressive, a go-getter, beyond the pale. I'm trying to do a sponsor deal with her, a strategic deal. She owns all these different liquor companies in South Carolina. Oh, she's a go-getter. She's got all these Nashville connections. She's looking for a guy right now. She told me, and you said what you said, and that's why I'm like, okay. You seem like a good guy. Seem like a good girl. Hey.
Is she down there?
No, she's in South Carolina.
Oh, that's a good place to meet in between. I like that.
Right?
Yeah, actually, I have someone else one of my friends just moved to South Carolina. It's like that's the place. Everyone seems to be moving there.
Oh, my son's in Greenville, and he's
really?
There's a picture of the Meister. He's the greatest kid in the whole wide world. Here we go. Here's my boy. My boy. Yeah. There's Dad.
Cool.
And son.
That he looks as bad as studly as you are, so that makes sense.
Ah, come on, man. He's way studlier than me. He's a good
Yeah,
boy.
I see my boys. I'm like, holy shit! I wish I were a stud like that when I was a kid.
Oh, he's awesome. He's 6'5". And
Really? Wow.
yeah, Greg,
Oh, he
real
looks-
quick story about my son. This is how great a kid he is. And it's so different than me. I would have done so. He wins the homecoming king in Aspen, and he calls home for something the day that he won. Says he'll be late coming home, and mom says, "That's fine. You can do this, that. Do you have something to tell me?" No, not really. Well, did something happen today? Not really. So she goes, so nothing happened today? Goes, no, not really. She goes, finally, well, did you win the homecoming king? Oh, that, yeah. What the heck is wrong with him, right? I would have been like, Mom,
cool.
you never believe it. That's how good a kid he is.
That's cool.
That's pretty cool.
Yep, that's cool.
Yeah, it's humility times 100 right there, brother.
Yeah, I think the opposite of my son. He's like, I'm the stud.
Yeah, that's kind of where I was, a little pivot. So anyway, he's a good boy.
That's
We'll meet
cool.
him one day. So you want me to introduce you to Paula?
Yeah, I'll definitely talk to her.
I mean, worst case, you get a strategic out of the deal.
That's what I'm thinking of. Yeah. What the hell?
Worst case.
And if she sells liquor,
Yeah.
I'll take samples. That works for me.
There you go. Yeah, I understand some of it's pretty good. Brandy's, and she's got a magazine called Skirt.
Really?
It's like 50,000 subscribers.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. We're trying to do a deal to bring those 50,000 onto the platform of Planet Honey, of course. There you go. What else? I don't know how much they would be in the, well, sure, eclectic sports. Absolutely.
Well, yeah. 12-ounce curls don't qualify as a sport, though.
No. That's different. She's got a lot of things going on. She is a true entrepreneur, buddy.
That's really cool, man.
Yeah. So, all right. Her name's Paula. There you go. I'll do that. So, once you and I get sort of a deal memo going, Greg, what's the way it works on your end? You got to get it blessed by the board, the advisory, and then the.
Yeah, I'll start with the advisory board. Frankly, you're not asking all that much. It's not like we're,
Just want to make it work for both of us.
Yeah. And no, it all fits. Whenever there's someone could bring us members, that's all the better. Now, your decision is going to have to be. What I try to do is try to get an understanding when someone brings someone else who's got an influencer in. So if they've got like lots and lots, like thousands or millions, God bless them, I would say you need to be getting a piece of that action. So no matter what happens with them doing the fintech stuff, when someone comes onto our site, there's that 15% that we pay out. So
15% of what? Sorry.
15% of the ad revenue is generated, which is about $1 a year.
Got it.
So we try to say make it 13%, and whoever refers us to the referrer keeps 2%. So that means that you guys will make some money when you bring somebody in.
So we have our own business model. So we are. So the way it would work, and we'll have to figure this out, is let's say all of your various worlds are on our sports platform, okay?
Uh-huh.
So all of your content right now is in the, canoeing lounge for people who like to go kayaking and canoeing.
So the way you would do that, actually, the way that we would, I guess we could do an RSS feed. How do you usually catch the content? Is that a question for your tech guys?
Tech guys, yeah. We haven't started yet, remember? So when you say, how do you usually, we haven't done it yet.
So, yeah, that's a problem.
Now, what you did say was, Joe has the technology to do this. Joe said we can overlay, like if somebody's looking at a video of a guy playing a guitar.
Right.
Through cookies and technological ability, and with fully opt-in, you can overlay it so that user, like House, H-O-U-Z, I think it is HAUS.com, you can touch that little, you know what I'm talking about?
Definitely.
You touch that innocuous little item and it blows up in an overlay, and now you can actually buy that guitar and it'll process back to Planet Honey.
You know, people have been talking about doing that for
Do something like that.
5 years, 6 years,
But it's
and
here now. We got it.
no one's got the technology to really make it work.
We have that according to Joe.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's excellent.
So we can do that, but that only works if the user has given us full opt-in permission. That's the first gateway there. In order for us to get permission for that overlay when you're looking at that guitar on that YouTube video, and then the owner of the YouTube video has to be also online with us in contract. So how's that going to work, right? Not
Yeah.
typically.
Exactly.
I mean, not that we're massive. So it only works with someone like yourself putting your content throughout our system and then signing a blanket contract. And every single thing we look at on your platform can be an e-commerce opportunity, because they see, looking at the tennis video, they can buy a tennis racket. You follow me? And then we would share it together in that e-commerce.
Where are you going to get that tennis racket?
So the tennis racket is offered in each single lounge in our business plan. We haven't launched yet. The deal was, it's going to be like it's eclectic mom and pop arts gallery, so to speak, where I walk in there and think of it like we've assembled all these really cool items from mom and pops and places all over the country that have to do with a persona interested in surfing, tennis, race car driving. And people are on the phone, hired by us, that are on the phone every day. This is part of our raise, part of our business model. And they are getting the mom and pop company that has homemade surfboards, GNS surfboards, and stuff relating to surfing. And they're populating our surf world with some of those cool items that normal people can't get unless you walk into a cool surf shop. We got there because we spent the time to talk to the mom and pops that are producing those items. So now, when I want to buy that surfboard, or in this case, that tennis racket, I hit click. We're not, inventorying anything. All right. That person is then going to, and this was the e-commerce discussion we had amongst ourselves. Are we better served to let the user go directly to the mom and pop supplier of the tennis racket? Or are we better served to be the middleman, collect the money, and then buy it and give him the tennis racket? And there was pluses and minuses to both, and we didn't define that yet. That's open for interpretation. We can do either way technologically. It's not an issue. It's a business decision. But there's the answer to the source of the racket, and as to how we buy it, that's open for interpretation still.
We're building relationships with manufacturers directly and distributors. So we basically have our own e-commerce site, and we'll be selling as much as we can directly from the manufacturers to the end users. That's really 40% of our revenue model.
Okay.
So when it comes down to you're selling any of that kind of stuff, we'll definitely do like an affiliate thing. We'll pay you 10% of whatever the sale is, except for balls. Because balls, there's no markup on. Balls are ridiculous. If you buy, you can buy tennis ball, Wilson US Open tennis balls, cheaper from Costco than if I bought 100 cases directly from Wilson. I do better going to Costco.
So, Greg, the only way this would work, though, for us, we'd have to both amend our business models. And here's what I mean by that. It wouldn't make sense for us to get a sliver of a margin of the e-commerce we generate for you on our platform, because we're going to generate a shitload of e-commerce. We're going to have millions of people. That's the goal, right? So if we're responsible for millions of people coming in and out of the boxing lounge, the badminton lounge, the canoeing lounge, we can't get a sliver. The worst case we would consider, this is why it would be a quid pro quo, the worst case would be a straight split, because you're
What do you
putting
mean a straight split?
Straight split means that if we generate, I don't know if we have to work on revenue or profits, but let's go with profits for a second. If we generate $1 in profits, you get 50 cents of every dollar because it was your content that was a piece of the transaction that got to the sale.
Yeah, I wish I could do that. Our challenge with that, first of all, the average affiliate program is about 10%, and what you're talking about is an affiliate program, and with sporting goods. I can't really speak for anything else, but I know sporting goods really well. And there are two ways to do it. Three ways to do it. One is you actually have a storefront and you have stuff in your store and you sell it. And then you have an e-commerce thing going on the side where some of the sales come in and they go out, not the front door, they go out the mail chute. So that's the second way. And the third way is, so that's the e-commerce strategy. The third one is affiliate, where you're not the seller, somebody else is the seller. You happen to bring a buyer to that seller, and that's the affiliate concept. So
let me walk you through this one point. It's important you hear it.
Okay.
I'm going to give you the lay of the land of how the monies, as of now, get distributed. I'm a user on the platform. I'm in the tennis store. I see a really cool set of tennis glasses, okay, that are offered by this eclectic mom and pop shop in Oregon.
Okay.
And I'm like, these tennis glasses are awesome looking, and they cost $350.
Oh my God.
So my influencer is a guy named Joe Blow, who got me to the site in the first place. I'm technologically tagged to him.
Okay, so you got Joe Blow.
Yep. I buy those tennis rackets. I hit the link.
Wait, who bought the tennis?
And it immediately tennis glasses. Sorry, and it immediately gets charged to my influencer debit card, my Honey debit card.
So Joe Blow's debit card.
No, my debit card, my personal debit card. I'm the user. Joe Blow got a piece of the action. He's the influencer.
Right, because he's the influencer. Right. That's what I was
got me to the site. Right.
So here's the user, and then there's Joe Blow, who's the influencer. He brought in this guy, and he just used his Visa card with Joe Blow's mug.
Now here's the breakdown of the money. Let's say they cost $350.
Okay.
And the profit, for making the math real easy here, is $50.
Okay.
Okay. Of that 50, the influencer makes right off the top 25% of the profit.
The influencer makes 25% of the profit.
Okay. Correct. Of e-commerce transactions. He makes a different number on private label activation campaigns, but on this he makes $12.50.
Okay.
Okay. That leaves $37.50. In the case of you and I, if we were discussing this, my argument to you would be, I wouldn't have the ability to quickly have been able to put up so much great content without you stepping in. And maybe your great content even manifested the 5 million. So you deserve, this would be my argument, the 50% of that profit, because I can't get to that content so fast. I can build it up myself, but that takes time.
You're talking about 50% of that $37.50?
For that one transaction, correct.
Okay, so that knocks it down to $17.
For each of us.
That's a $350 pair of glasses. So I just made 5%.
And so did I.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
So what I'm saying is that we'd pay, if we were the people selling this stuff to whoever, we work two ways. One way is we are either affiliates ourselves, in which case we get 10%, because we didn't do any part of the transaction.
Okay.
We didn't take any risk. We didn't do the credit card trade. We didn't do any of that kind of crap. Right. So we made 10%. We just sat back and watched it happen. And ABC distributors delivered a Wilson ball to somebody. If I had a relationship with Wilson, so that ball, now there's forget about a ball, a racket, because there's no money in balls. So the racket, you'll make it's about a 40% markup on a racket, 50% markup. So $100 racket for wholesale would be 150. So that's $50 in there. What
Okay.
we do is we'll pay out 10% of the whole trade to somebody who who brought us the player, and then we sold it. So that 10% goes out. Back to whoever referred us to the player. Because that's just frankly all we made. And that's what typically happens. So, because we have our influencers too on this side. And luckily, if you brought us the member, see, what I'm thinking is that you're going to have to morph your business model a little bit, and you're going to have to start catching checks from us from your members when they get onto our site and they start tooling around on the site.
Okay.
And so you'll get 50% of 50% of the ad revenue, and then 10% of any sporting goods sales that happen. And if you bring us a sponsor or an advertiser onto the site, you get 10% of the ad spend that happens then. And that's basically all the revenue we have lined up to get. And then subscriptions. If any of your, I don't know what your influencers are doing, but if your influencers have their own subscription service, like if one of them's a coach and he sells subscriptions, they come onto our site and sell their subscriptions through us, we'll pay back. When they set up the subscription through us, then they get 30% of the subscription revenue. So we're still working that part out because we're not going to start doing subscriptions until we launch the new site. So that's still about 3 months away. So but the other two is the way we work.
So a couple of points. One is that there isn't really any motivation that I can see, and your motivation would be for the increased e-commerce because you don't do anything for this extra stuff. You just moved a bunch of your stuff to sit in another place while it's still sitting where it is with you. It didn't cost you anything. But I want to be frank, I don't see the logic of a Honey member leaving the Honey platform to join your specific site unless there were very obtuse reasons, like you just said with the subscription maybe. Here's why. If you're on the Honey platform, you have the opportunity to win a free car, free month supply of Starbucks, free dinners at Morton's, free blah, 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 simply by being a serendipitous algorithm winner. It's one of our motivations to keep you on the platform. That's all things being equal. If I can buy what I can buy from you, buy from us, I can still win a car with me. I'm probably going to go with win a car. Second point is you get loyalty points. Those are based on the amount of time you're spending. It's based on your window shopping. It's based on your e-commerce execution. It's based on 5 different scenarios. And those points add up to definitive things in the virtual catalog that you can redeem. And thirdly, our most important justification for Wall Street valuation purposes is we want to make the argument that our users are on our platform in a perfect world, God willing, right? 30 minutes a day, every single day of their lives. We got ourselves a $1 billion plus company. So there isn't a motivation to ever push them out the door, Greg, and to go, okay, they're yours now. I mean, I don't care if they do you and me, but I'm just being real with you. I don't see the motivation for the user to jump ship.
Well, that's, we wouldn't be, I certainly could not give out the farm to you as far as all the content we have and all the links that we have. That would be the blogs. Really, that's about it. And I might even get in trouble with the USOC and the NGBs if that content's sent out to some other site. The content would have to be linked to us. And usually what happens with this kind of stuff, it's the headline and the short blurb about what the article is, or usually it's the first paragraph. And then it's a click back into UB Sports. I don't know any site that would give away its content.
Well, when you say give away, once again, there's an economic justification because today you have 5,000 members You may have 500,000 members without us. You may get to 1 million without us. That's awesome. But let's say hypothetically you get to 1 million on your own without us. Let's say our site generates 5 million. 5 million and 1 million is better than only 1 million. So if there's a rev share scenario where every time anything happening on our platform gives you X, you wouldn't have gotten X. It's free money to you. It's not like you did anything. I mean, you've already created the opportunity. You know what I'm saying?
So how do we get your members onto UB Sports?
Well, that's what I'm trying to say. I don't see the incentive from the user's perspective.
Well, if all they're getting is the blogs, you know,
hang on, they're on the Planet Honey, right? They're on the platform. They went into the canoeing lounge, and in the canoeing lounge, they're spending time there. They're generating points in their catalog. They might win this or that, and there's influencers that they can have a community chat with, right? And they can buy an experience in canoeing in Colorado or Wyoming or whatever. And there's a bunch of content from you that kept them on the site longer, right? They had an interaction with the coach or with whatever, pick stuff. And then there's items in the virtual store that relate to a persona of somebody interested in canoeing that they're executing e-commerce, and then they're charging their card. That's free money. You didn't do anything other than populate that piece with your content. You're doing what you do, and you're getting a check every month. It's not a negative. It's only a positive.
Well, except that we're giving away our content.
Well, and you're giving away, you get paid for it.
Yeah, that's true. And
well,
the same thing. If you bring your users onto our site, you get 15% of the ad revenues generated. So
I understand, and I'm not saying our users. I'm being real with you. I'm not telling you there's a firewall that we would put in place to stop a user going to you. I'm just being real, saying you would have to have a compelling reason, all things being equal, if the content is here in our boxing lounge, right? That's the whole point of our relationship from our perspective. You're giving us awesome content.
Yeah.
Unless there are other things you're not telling me that we can discuss that are on my list. That's awesome too. But let's assume it's content, what we're talking about right now. You put amazing content in the boxing lounge. You did that. Awesome. We don't have to do that now, for now. Now, I want to be clear on this point. When we raise money, we still have to repopulate the virtual store in each lounge pretty much every day with something new, different, exciting to keep you coming back on Tuesday after you checked it out on Monday.
Right, of course.
So even if you give us a bunch of great stuff,
yeah,
it's not static. It's got to keep changing. You know that.
So if our whole premise is that if someone plays a sport, they want to watch videos, they want to learn new drills, they want to learn better technique, they want to talk to the governing bodies, they want to talk to the Olympic athletes, and they want to be, in their sport. And what you're talking about is something that's different, way different, and complementary. I think people aren't going to go. It's neither. I don't think it's either PH or UB. They're going to be going to PH to ring up the numbers and get the stuff that you guys generate. And when they're talking about their sports, when they want to learn about their sports, when they want to watch sports, they're going to come to UB Sports. And
so we don't disagree, but the question is, how do we get your content in a business relationship on our platform? Because that's the whole point. Doesn't do us any good to have it on your platform, right? The whole point is to get you so we can then process a lot of e-commerce transactions we're an e-commerce generational site. The name of the game is business.
Sure.
We're not just there to look good. We want them to buy stuff, buy experiences, buy products, services, interact, and showcase to Wall Street monetization and, pump up the value. So if your content's helping us get there, Greg, I want to be fair, generous, rewarding. But I'm not saying our guy there'd be no legal reason ever to stop our user from coming to you. But from a business mindset, so you have to, in other words, the only way it makes sense is I'm talking this through and I'm you. Makes a ton of sense if I'm getting a check every month for 100 grand, 200 grand, a million one day when
That
you
doesn't
guys?
do it for us. I hate to say it. That really doesn't float our boat. We need members. And um, that's, we'll pay for bringing people on board. Like literally 50% of the ad revenue for life. So you bring in one guy and you get paid, he generates $15, you're getting $2 for that person for that year. If they do the minimum, which we got figured about 40 to 43 pages a month, as opposed to Facebook that gets over 1,000 average per month. So if you do that, then you're going to get about $1 per user that you bring in. So I'm thinking just the opposite. I'm thinking that they should be coming to us, and we should have banners on our site saying Planet Honey, go to these guys.
Okay.
Last thing I would do is tell somebody you can't go there. And because I think we're so complimentary, there's no reason not to.
So we each direct each other to each other's site.
Yeah, exactly. And
Well, that's an easy one.
Sorry?
I said that's a no-brainer. That's easy.
It's simple. And because there's nothing that you do that we don't, and vice versa. Nothing that you do that we do, and nothing that we don't do that you don't do. So
Correct.
that's complementary, right? Yeah. So that's basically how it works. And people aren't going to go to Planet Honey to learn how to hit a tennis ball.
No.
And
that's not what we're about.
Buy their ping pong when they win a ping pong table from you guys, and they go to set it up, they're not going to know how to play.
That's a good point. You're right. Okay. So that is a good point. You're totally complimentary, and so we would have to have maybe even have something in our terms and conditions that we could even have a direct agree to accept a membership in your company as they sign up. I have to think about that.
Oh, no, they can't do that. They can't. If they sign up with you, they can't sign up with us.
Why not?
I mean, I love it. I mean, fantastic.
Why can't they do that?
I think there's something called an opt-out and an opt-in. An opt-in is where you say, hey, thanks for joining Planet Honey. By the way, you might want to join our partner, UB Sports, at the same time. So that's an opt-in. An opt-out is when you say, thanks for joining Planet Honey. By the way, by joining us, you also get a free membership to UB Sports. It's free anyway. So you say free membership to UB Sports. If you don't want it, hit this button, and you don't have to join.
Oh, there you go. Something like that.
That's an opt-out.
Okay.
Right. So opt-out is they're both powerful as soon as you've got buzz. As soon as somebody knows who Planet Honey shows up, and we say, do you want to join Planet Honey as well? I have no problem doing that.
I like that. I think it's going to work for you, Greg. I like that.
Yeah, I think that's smooth and works both ways.
Okay.
So I mean, we're going to grow very, very fast, and I would love to have a piece of that action as those people go over to you.
Totally, buddy. I mean, look, if the math, you're a smart guy. If we could sign up almost 600 influencers and we hardly put any resources at all into that campaign, I think I sent you the endorsements. You saw some of the power of some of those people.
Oh, I saw a couple of them. You only sent me, I think, like 5 or something like that. But
that's it. I'll send you, there's about 50 in the endorsement package, and they range from millions of followers to some of these people, hundreds of thousands. I mean, there are social media influencers of moms. There's polo top champions. There's a Hall of Famer. There's Miss Bikini World. I mean, it's right up your alley. I didn't send you that?
I didn't see it, no.
All right, I'll send that. You'll like it.
Cool. So that's the idea, is that there's no reason why. I mean, and what I would do is if these people, influencer gets involved with us, they're going to want 15% of the ad revenue that their people bring on. And on top of that, you guys get 2% of all the revenue that they bring on. So it does you're not getting any, you're not, it doesn't take you 10 seconds or a penny to get that volume. So you're just saying, these two connected. And so you'd be getting 2% of that. Any people that sign up directly from PH onto UB, you would get 15% of whatever revenue they generate.
All right. I'll tell you what, buddy. go ahead and respond to point by point, please, that I
Yeah, well, I'm looking at it right now.
yeah, and then give me your interpretation of how you want it to go down, what you specifically want. I'll respond back quickly. And then once you and I have a true meeting of the minds on who gets what, we'll sign off on that email. You get it blessed by your end. I'll get it blessed by my board. Boom.
So, how far along are you with the site?
We need another 400 grand to finish the UI UX. The functionality piece is 100% done. The engine's built. That's done. 40 programmers spent about, I don't know, 8,000 plus hours, 500,000 lines of code done. You want the technology side of it, I have to throw you to Joe, but now we need the engineers to finish the UI UX.
Yeah. How much did it cost you to build that functionality?
We gave Joe 17% of the company and we own 500 grand.
Okay, so you haven't paid him.
Nothing. Well, that's not true. We've given him about 75 grand.
Okay, that's cool.
We paid him about 75 G's.
That's nice. And they're not cheap.
No, they did it all up front. That's pretty cool on our part. So we had to take a deal. And I was told by a lot of people who know the world like you do on the tech side that that was a killer deal for us, because they say to me, I would have charged you 40% of the company.
Yeah.
That's what they told me.
Sure. And that they would be like your tech founder if you did that. So
yeah.
You're smart by going that route, because that can get costly. You have 40% of your company and all of a sudden it's worth $1 billion. You just gave it $400 million.
That's it, buddy. But the same token, people would say prior to putting that piece in there, so you don't have any technology? No. So you're a technology company with no technology. Good luck with that.
That's a tough sell.
Yeah, tough sell. I'm a good salesman. That was hard, Greg.
That's really hard.
Anyway, so that piece is built. I've been told by Joe and his top UX guy, Rich, whatever his name. Once we hire the 4 engineers, it's literally 4 months from that point of hiring them. I'm going to house them in the offices in Philadelphia, in Joe's offices, C-Wright, C-I-R-I-G-H-T, C-Wright Systems.
Mm-hmm.
They're in Conshohocken. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, Conshohocken, yeah.
There you go. So they're there. Joe Callahan, you can look him up. Impressive guy. I've known him 30 years.
Wow. And
once we are there, that's 4 months of time, and boom, we're ready to launch. And you already know where I want to go, buddy. I want to launch in Beverly Hills, 700 to 1,000 people at that launch party. Mac Daddy, paparazzi, celebrities, sports stars, models, supermodels. It's going to be a killer event. You'll be there. And hopefully that event alone will generate stupid, tsunami of influencers and users coming in. Wow, that's impressive. It's gonna be fun. That event will cost us, and we'll get it done. You don't know me too well, but I'm an expert at getting things done for ridiculously, low prices that are not even. I stayed in a Plaza Hotel back in the day. $5,000 a night suite for $70 a night. Anyway, story after story, but you get the idea. So we'll do that party that would cost probably in the order, I'm guessing, of 400 grand for the whole party with everything the way we want to do it, for about 75 G's. That's awesome. You can do it. Anyway, that's the plan, buddy. I'm stoked about how you and I can make this work together, and yeah, let's do it. I see it. It would definitely work. All right, man. I'll fill out your questions and get back to you, and we take it from there. Okay, and I'll send you over to Paula, and you guys can say hi. Cool. That'd be fun. All right. I'll talk to you later. See you, Greg. You bet. See you, buddy.